Over the years, Jonah Hill has matured from a comedy staple to a respected actor with 2 Oscar nominations, but he's also taken a few steps back from the spotlight. Here's why you may not have seen much of him recently. Despite his recent lack of face time, Hill has still been busy bulking up his acting resume. Even if you haven't actually seen him, there's a good chance you've heard him in one of the animated projects he's lent his voice to. Hill's most recent live-action roles have been confined to the small screen. His last appearance was his cameo as himself in HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2020, and he hasn't had a leading role since starring in Netflix's Maniac in 2018. In the time between, however, Hill lent his voice to 2 animated sequel films. He reprised his role as Snotlout in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, and made another appearance as Green Lantern in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Of course, voice acting is nothing new to Hill, as he first went behind the microphone for the role of Tommy in the 2008 adaptation of the Dr. Seuss classic, Horton Hears a Who. He's also played a foul-mouthed hot dog in the notoriously raunchy Sausage Party and the super-powered Titan in Megamind.
There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
In 2019, Hill had a supporting role in Harmony Korine's flick, The Beach Bum, as Lewis, the bombastic agent of hedonistic poet Moondog, played by Matthew McConaughey. Korine, known for unsettling movies such as Gummo and Spring Breakers, is a polarizing director, and reviews for The Beach Bum certainly reflected that. Public reception for the film was mixed, and most critics found it somewhere between mediocre and middling. In his review for The Guardian, Peter Bradshaw wrote, "Writer-director Harmony Korine achieves a zen state of unfunny with this pointless non-comedy. This can only provoke something like awe that something so awful can still get made." The Beach Bum underperformed at the box office and wasn't exactly in the running for any Academy Awards. With so many great films already on Hill's resume, The Beach Bum doesn't necessarily stand out as a prime example of his work, so he didn't receive much publicity for the few scenes in which he appears. When all was said and done, however, he may be thankful for that. If you were to ask Hill which role he was the most proud of, there's a good chance he would tell you it was his part in the 2018 Gus Van Sant biopic, Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. Hill played Donnie Green, the Alcoholics Anonymous sponsor for Joaquin Phoenix's John Callahan, a man left quadriplegic after a drunk driving accident who regains his strength by drawing irreverent cartoons. Although Hill loved working on the film and looks back on it as a highlight of his career, he was frustrated with the lackluster marketing campaign the movie received. He expressed disappointment with Amazon Studios for not properly promoting the film, telling GQ, "It's the best acting I've done or will ever do," but no one saw it. Critics generally enjoyed Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, which stands at a 77% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. In her review for the Evening Standard, critic Charlotte O'Sullivan wrote, "Basically, you can't take your eyes off Hill, and you get the feeling that Phoenix can't either. That gravitational pull is exactly right for the story. Donnie rearranges John's universe."
The path to enlightenment is to know yourself.
How do I know myself?
Forget yourself.
If you're a fan of the DC Universe, you may remember rumors that Hill was slated to appear in Warner Brothers' newest iteration of the Caped Crusader, Matt Reeves' The Batman. Hill was allegedly lined up to play a villain in the film, opposite Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. While Warner Brothers never confirmed which villain Hill was in talks to portray, rumor had it that he was being considered for the role of Oswald Cobblepot, otherwise known as the Penguin. However, Hill's talks with the studio ultimately did not lead to a part in the film, and the news broke that Hill was no longer in consideration for the role. Instead, the movie has moved along with Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler, and Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, the last of which Hill was almost certainly never considered to play. The Batman recently wrapped filming and is scheduled to be released in 2022. Hill has no intentions of giving up acting, but has been interested in writing and directing since his childhood. Today, he's taking on projects that give him the chance to get behind the camera. Hill has experimented with writing and directing before. He wrote for the short-lived TV series Alan Gregory in 2011 and contributed to the storylines for both Jump Street movies. He has served as a producer on films like Richard Jewell and the documentary Beastie Boys Story. Hill has also directed multiple music videos, including Vampire Weekend's Sunflower and Travis Scott's Wake Up. In 2018, Hill made his childhood dreams come true when he wrote and directed his own film, the coming-of-age comedy drama Mid-90s. The movie tells the story of Stevie, a 13-year-old with a troubled home life who finds a sense of brotherhood with a group of skateboarders in LA. Mid-90s received positive reviews from critics, and chances seem good that Hill will attempt to direct another film in the future. While such efforts behind the camera may interfere with acting opportunities, Hill seems intent on branching out. Hill has never been shy about his sense of style, and several years ago he decided that he wanted to start his very own clothing line. Before he could even begin the process, however, Adidas reached out to him and offered the opportunity to collaborate on a collection. In an interview discussing the launch with GQ, Hill said, "It was like, of course I'm going to learn from these geniuses and collaborate with them. Who wouldn't take that opportunity? And to get your stuff worn and seen by more people and also have a great education." Hill put his personal apparel ideas on hold, with plans to later apply lessons learned from Adidas towards future efforts as a clothier. He explained that the design process was time-consuming. Hill began officially collaborating with Adidas and working on the line 2 years before it was released to the public in 2020. Now that he's wrapped up the work on his Adidas collection, though, he's free to pursue his dream of starting his own clothing line. Hill has had multiple unfortunate interactions with the press that have left him feeling less than enthused. Known to clash with the paparazzi in public, Hill makes it no secret when he thinks someone is being too nosy into his private life. Ever present in Hill's life has been the issue of his weight, a media preoccupation that has impacted his self-confidence. While he hopes that people understand his worst interactions with the press don't represent who he really is, Hill admits that he's exasperated with public scrutiny. In an Instagram post responding to paparazzi photos of him at the beach being published in the Daily Mail, Hill wrote, "I don't think I ever took my shirt off in a pool until I was in my mid-30s, even in front of family and friends. Probably would have happened sooner if my childhood insecurities weren't exacerbated by years of public mockery about my body by press and interviewers." When you consider the toll that such statements can have on someone who's spent over a decade in the public eye, it's no wonder that Hill prefers to maintain strong boundaries between his personal and professional life. Hill is an undeniably funny actor, having made audiences laugh for years, often at his own expense. But despite receiving pressure to appear in more comedies, Hill is much pickier about the roles he accepts today, and makes it clear that he doesn't want to continue playing the same characters for the rest of his career. Hill told IndieWire, "I love those films, but I also think that if you look back at those films, a lot of what they're showing is major bro comedy and bro masculinity." Hill is open to passing up comedies to pursue more serious roles. He's also on the lookout for opportunities to work with female directors, having told The Guardian, "It's insane that my perspective as an actor has only been a male's vision." Perhaps Hill won't be on screen as much as he used to be simply because he's being more selective, but his future roles will certainly be worth keeping an eye on. Hill is very close with his family. His sister, Beanie Feldstein, has appeared in films like Lady Bird and Booksmart, and his brother, Jordan Feldstein, managed the band Maroon 5. However, tragedy struck Hill's family in 2017, when Jordan unexpectedly passed away after suffering a pulmonary embolism at just 40 years old. Hill was devastated by his brother's passing, and in the aftermath of Jordan's death, he preferred to maintain his privacy rather than speaking to the press about his loss. However, his sister Beanie published an essay in InStyle titled Grief Glasses, in which she described her experience of grief as wearing a pair of glasses that she couldn't take off. She wrote, "And these glasses make me see the world differently than I did before. The colors bleed together more vividly, but they are somehow more than they ever were before, more visceral, more vibrant, more present, simultaneously more awe-inspiring and more aching." Hill has appeared in plenty of films produced by Hollywood's most storied studios, but while actors can benefit from working on tentpole films, the paycheck and publicity comes with a lot of pressure. As Hill continues his pivot to working on passion projects and trying his hand at writing and directing, he has increasingly realized that putting out a film with a big studio just isn't always worth it. In an interview with Vulture, Hill said that he now prefers to work with smaller studios because he doesn't like to deal with the expectation to, quote, make up $1 jillion and be so mainstream. That's why he chose to release Mid-90s with A24, a smaller independent studio known for distributing critically acclaimed flicks like Moonlight and The Lighthouse. The way Hill sees it, working with A24 gave him the freedom to depict the story he wanted to tell in Mid-90s without compromising his artistic vision. If you're looking forward to seeing Hill on screen again, you're in luck. He has been hard at work on the upcoming Netflix political satire Don't Look Up, written and directed by Adam McKay of Vice and The Big Short fame. The film features an A-list cast, led by Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence as a pair of astronomers who try to warn Earth about an approaching asteroid, only to discover that society is less receptive to their efforts than they had hoped. Hill is reportedly playing the son and chief of staff of Meryl Streep's President of the United States. Like many other projects, production on the film was intermittently delayed in 2020 because of COVID-19 regulations. However, Don't Look Up is currently expected to get a release in late 2021, and with a cast that includes plenty of big names, it seems likely to get plenty of major attention. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.